speaking about it. And this is huge. This is not just a minor blip. I guarantee you that Kwame Brown's DMs are lighting up on his social media platforms from other professional athletes who are thanking him because they are high-paid slaves to a degree. That's why the media attacks Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant and James Harden as well, because they won't play ball. Any professional athlete who the media protects is because they're playing ball. LeBron James is being protected because he is a pawn of the Democratic Party, which is a pawn of the globalist communist network. Bottom line, that's why he's protected. And these major networks like Disney, which runs ESPN, they're in league with many of the Luciferian agendas. So that's where LeBron James is plugged in, because he is a Luciferian himself, as I proved over the course of many videos. And so is Matt Barnes, by the way. Matt Barnes is a Luciferian. That's why, and of course, everything I'm saying in this video is alleged, by the way, as you all know. But I lightly touched on the Stephen Jackson / Matt Barnes dynamic in the video series that I did on the George Floyd and Stephen Jackson twinning or Gemini program. I stated that one of the reasons why they got their show is because clearly they're both scripted characters. Notice how they both have had their overall life narrative interwoven with Kobe's. Matt Barnes can't stop talking about Kobe. And many times when you'll see some of these quote-unquote sports celebrities linked up with a reality TV show star, she played the role of his handler. Matt Barnes is known as someone who can't control himself. And Kwame Brown was touching on a lot of very relevant and clearly existent psychological issues that Matt Barnes has, not only with his racial lineage, but also with that fake gangster tough guy image that he tries to put out there. Nigga always talking about how he drove all these miles to fight Derek Fisher. Nigga, you drove all those miles to fight over a woman who don't want you. That shit was an embarrassment. But once again, there's a reason why they throw guys like him on the panel. And when I say on the panel, I'm talking about Rachel Nichols on The Jump and these various TV shows. Because he's a scripted character. And don't get it twisted, the cat is very talented with his interviewing skills. He asks good questions. He knows how to keep the flow of the interview going. He does a very good job with that. But Stephen Jackson is a complete fucking moron. You know, to Kwame Brown's point, which he points out numerous times, Stephen Jackson is a complete fucking moron. And the only reason why he's on this show is because he's linked up with Matt Barnes. Stephen Jackson's role is to play out the job of that Castor Pollux dynamic that I touched on in the series that I did on George Floyd and Stephen Jackson, but he's a complete idiot. Now all of a sudden he's a Muslim, notice, allegedly. I don't trust any of these dudes when they claim to be a part of any type of quote-unquote religion or belief system. Many times that's just a facade. That's a part of the character role that they're playing. But suddenly Stephen Jackson is supposedly a Muslim. But this cat Kwame Brown is on point. When you look at his channel, he talks a lot about the fake woke shit, how the NBA is too woke. He knows how to attack Matt Barnes too. Because he knows, as I've touched on in the past, that many times the quote-unquote biracial people, they're very confused by nature. But one thing that they all tend to like to be is at the forefront of these racial discussions. They like to act like they should be leaders over so-called black people. I'm sorry, that's not the case. If your father is of the nation or of the proper lineage, then yes, you can be a part of it, but you can't be the leader because genetically you've been compromised. So you never know what a person like that's going to do in a pivotal or crucial moment. And Kwame Brown was playing on that. He kept talking about, hey boy, which one of your granddads didn't like your ass? Hey yo, he was going in. My man was quoting Tombstone and everything. When he started quoting Tombstone, that motherfucker had me cracking up. He said, Johnny Tyler, madcap, where you going with that shotgun? He came back and said, I'm your Huckleberry. Everybody in that age range, I'm not quite sure how old Kwame is. I'm guessing he's somewhere around 39, 40. But everybody in that age range knows about Tombstone and the role that Val Kilmer played in that movie. And if you haven't seen the film Tombstone, you should watch it. It's a tremendous movie. Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday is one of the greatest performances in cinematic history. It's one of the greatest performances in cinematic history. But just to get back to the point, this is going to be the initial entry into the new series on this channel called Morningside Chats. And we're definitely going to be delving far deeper into this Kwame Brown versus Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson and Stephen A. Smith situation over the course of many videos. Most of them will be on my Chronicles of Judah 2 channel because they're mostly sports related. But the reason why I state that what he's doing is so tremendous is because he's pulling back the curtain on the bullshit, on the understanding that what these people do on TV is not real journalism, much less investigative journalism. He spoke about Stephen A. Smith and how Stephen A. has basically built his career off of the back of Kwame Brown, which is correct. And don't get it twisted. I agree with Stephen A.'s sentiment that Kwame should not have came out straight from high school into the pros. He should not have done that. But at the same time, it's like, bruh, you don't have anything constructive to say to this dude who's 18 years old. You're just going to keep hammering away and hammering away. The cat's been retired for 8-9 years. You still hammering away, hammering away. When you listen to Stephen A., you can see that he's just a minstrel. He's not a real journalist, and that's the irony of him complaining about the bloggers and, you know, the people on YouTube or whoever it is, who many of these people on TV they feel threatened by. And the reason why they feel so threatened is because they know deep down that there's literally no difference between what they do on TV and what people like myself and other people do on YouTube. There's no difference. As a matter of fact, what we do is far harder because we're our own editors, script writers, researchers, filmers. We do it all. All Stephen A. Smith has to do is get about 5 layers of makeup put on his motherfucking vulture looking face and have a fake hairline drawn on and go over some notes in the morning and he's good to go. After that, he's done and he can go to another one of his 15 jobs at ESPN. But that's why they're so threatened. But this is great because Kwame Brown is actually holding these people accountable. They've been able to step on dudes' necks, and every time they respond, they say the same thing. Oh, this guy's just sensitive. You see Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson trying to utilize that same ploy. Oh, he's just sensitive. He's just mad because he was a flop. If he's so fucking mad that he's a flop, why is it that he's been so quiet for the last 20 fucking years? The man hasn't said shit. So you just keep making fun of the man for years and years, for 2 decades, and then act surprised when he says something and act like he's not supposed to be able to say anything? And the level of your response to his statements is, you're just not good at basketball? Nigga, you're not good at basketball either. You're 41 years old. It's over. You listen to Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson speak, you think that they were Kobe Bryant and Vince Carter. It's like, bro, Matt Barnes, what the fuck did you ever do in the NBA other than act like a fake tough guy? You wasn't a better ball player than Kwame Brown at all. Teams brought you onto their squad in the late 2010s because you were just a body out there on the floor who they could use to start fights with other teams so that you could protect Blake Griffin and Draymond Green and Steph Curry on the Warriors. That's all you were. You wasn't a good player. Steven Jackson was an all-right role player who every once in a while would get hot. This nigga got mad because the Spurs chose Manu Ginobili over him, and he still to this day thinks he was better than Manu Ginobili. In no way, shape, or form were you ever better than Manu Ginobili. Manu Ginobili was a 3-time better player than you, if for no other reason that he was actually focused. He wasn't thinking about weed the whole fucking game. Like Steven Jackson, one of those guys that you look at him and you say, I'm happy that he's 6'7", because if he was 5'11", he'd probably be trying to break into some old lady's house. That's how dumb that nigga is. Allegedly, of course. But Kwame Brown, he read them for filth, and now what he's done is he's created another form of media, that being the former athlete who they can't say doesn't have the right to criticize the media. They can't say that he's a nobody because he actually played and he actually is someone who people know and recognize. Shannon Sharpe was trying to pussyfoot his way through it because he's someone who also used that same tactic on athletes, trying to bully them, trying to bully Kevin Durant, trying to bully Kyrie Irving, and trying to act like it's just about professional. No, it's not, nigga. Everything that you do at the bidding of your boy toy, allegedly, quote unquote, your boy toy LeBron James. Because we know LeBron don't like Kyrie, and LeBron is threatened by KD. KD is another dude who just chills out in the cut, not bothering nobody, and the media has to keep stirring his fucking name up. So that's the issue with that. And Kwame Brown, he called that shit out too. Right now, he got them people scared. When you listen to that dude, Kwame Brown, it's like an hour and a half roast. That man be just, he just keep going. He like a Duracell battery. He just keep going and going. I mean, shit, I thought I had jokes. That nigga is funny. He said Matt Barnes is Becky with the good hair. Like, Matt Barnes is finished. Once again, anybody who's seen Matt Barnes on his social media or anywhere like that, he's mentally unstable. Anytime someone says anything that is contrary to what Matt Barnes thinks, he acts like he's ready to flip out or fight. He be in the comment section, where you at? I'm gonna come fight you. Like, nigga, please, you're not gonna do shit. Just be quiet. Just raise them little tan boys of yours and just do your damn job and be happy that you have the little outlet that you have. And the only reason why they gave you that outlet is because you're just a prop for the Democratic Party. That's why there was that photo of Matt Barnes with Joe Biden. A lot of these people are a lot more than what you think they are. They don't let people like Matt Barnes even get close to a Joe Biden unless they already have some type of understanding of who each other is behind the curtain. If you even mention Donald Trump around this fool Matt Barnes, he was ready to lose it. Because there's nothing worse than a toxic black liberal. Really a toxic Luciferian. That's what the Democratic Party represents nowadays. It represents LGBTQ, the advancement of the woman over the man, the emasculation of the heterosexual man, the worship of the divine feminine, the worship of the divine transgender, and slowly the acceptance and the normalizing of man-boy love, aka pederasty, what really is pedophilia. That's all it's about. They're not about change. They're not about improvement at all. So that's what Matt Barnes represents. So Kwame Brown, he's raging against the machine. And it's good to see this growth of pro-truth amongst the so-called black man. With people like Kwame Brown, the other brother Kevin Samuels. I give Kevin Samuels credit. So many people ask me about Kevin Samuels. I always tell you, brothers, I'm not interested in talking about other brothers' YouTube platforms, but he does a great job with what he does. He has the patience to actually interact with the liberal black female. And in the process of doing that, reveal her various mental psychoses to the world. People claim that he's embarrassing them. No, he's not. He's actually helping them out. It's just that the vast majority of liberal black women are not going to accept the help. They're only going to change when the society falls. The woman in general is two-dimensional. She's only going to change when the fall and the collapse are happening right in front of her eyes. You understand? But I'm going to be going far deeper into this in the videos that I make on this topic, because this is a very very meaty topic. But anyway, that's the end of this initial entry into the Morning Chats or Morningside Chats series. Peace.